What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Now, in this video, I've been working on this custom. I posted this on my Instagram a few times already, but I keep getting the question of how do you put Marvel Legends legs on a McFarlane body. And in this video, I'm going to walk you guys through it. I'm actually going to show you how I did this. I'm going to pull this one apart, and I have another McFarlane figure that I'm going to take apart and show you how I did it. So like I said, I keep getting the question on how I did it. It's actually pretty simple. I know everybody has their own process, but this is how I've done it. I think I've done this twice already, 3 times now. Well, 3 times now because I did it to the, what figure was that? The Batman Who Laughs. I swapped the legs on him because his legs were too long. So I'm gonna pull this one apart and you'll see how I did it, and I'm gonna show you too. So I'm gonna pull it apart. Hopefully I don't break it. That would be tragic. All right, I didn't break it. No stress marks. So if you've ever taken apart a McFarlane figure, you know how this torso operates. There's like this front piece and there's a front piece and a back piece that slip onto this diaper. And then there's pegs that shoot out from here and the legs sit onto those pegs. To get this done, you have to snip off the pegs. You snip off the pegs on both sides. And then you cut a channel right here that's don't make it too big to fit over the Marvel Legends peg. Because if you make it too big, it'll be too loose. If it's too loose, it won't. Like me, generally, I just glue it together and it stays. You can run a screw through here, but I don't really like drilling stuff that's that small. Like, because if I drill it that small, I usually miss when I drill stuff. So I'll drill it off center and it'll be looking weird and I won't be able to drill it in. So it's just not something I like to do. But yeah, you just cut the channel. I'm gonna show you how I go about this because I don't feel like I can explain it better than I can show it. So let me get this Green Lantern figure apart. So here, I switched from Green Lantern to Superman because his body I can get it apart a bit easier. Let me heat this up and take off the lower torso and show you what I'm doing. So I got this all heated up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it apart. Usually I need a lot of heat. I made it pretty hot, but let's see. Okay, it works. And then I have to take the legs off. And the legs, like I said, there's pegs that shoot out from that middle piece. You just want to pull. If pulling doesn't work, which mine did not, you can take a flathead. I don't have a flathead handy, of course. You can take a flathead and jam it in there and it'll come apart. Yeah, so I got it pretty hot. I was able to get it apart. When this is together, it'll be pretty hard to get these out. Sometimes you'll break the pegs on the sides. But if you don't plan on using these legs, which pretty much is what you're doing to swap for, this is how you don't really need the pegs anyway. But yeah, let me pop this back in. Take this apart. Wait, can I? No, the cape. I don't really want the cape ruining what I'm showing. But yeah, pretty much this is what the McFarlane lower torso will look like. I think that goes the other way. Yeah. McFarlane lower torso will look a lot like that. It'll look a lot like that. It'll look just like that. And these are the pegs in the way. So this one's actually a lot smaller too, which is kind of sucks for this video, but it'll still work for the purposes. You want to take these and cut them off. You can use wire cutters. I have nippers. That's just what I like to use. So you just cut 1, cut 2, and those are going to fly across the room. There's no way to avoid it. And once you get it like this, obviously once you get it like this on both sides, there's obviously no hole for the leg, so you have to drill a hole out. All right, we're going to ditch the upper torso because it's in the way. But you want to drill it out like that, and then you want to go a little bit bigger just to accommodate the peg in here. Now, this can work for any set of Marvel Legends legs. But if you want to swap onto a McFarlane, it all depends on the size of the figure. Like Superman here is a pretty hefty figure. Got this from a guy on Instagram, Ace Outlaw Customs. I don't know if anybody follows him. But if you do, you already know what he did to this Superman figure. It's pretty sick. Let me finish drilling this out. So now to get the bigger hole, I used the 9/64 drill bit. It's just a little bit bigger than the one I already used. Like I said, because you want to get this hole at least big enough to accommodate the Marvel Legends leg. It'll still stretch out a little bit, which is fine. And then I take my nippers or wire cutters, whatever you're using, and I just cut 1, and then I cut 2 right here. on this second part. If you can get it. No, let me flip them over. Cut 1, cut 2, it'll shoot across the room. You can put a napkin or something over it so that doesn't happen. I almost stabbed myself. So cut 1, cut 2, and then it's gonna look like that. You can go in here and file that stuff down a little bit, but you want to keep the integrity of the circle there because that's what's gonna hold the Marvel Legends legs in place. I'm not gonna be able to force these legs on here because this hole is not big enough, nor is the gap, but it, like I said, it looks just like this one. Now that's what you want to look like, the end result will look like anyway. And then you should be able to, you can heat this up, but you should be able to take these legs and force them in there. Like I said, this is going to stretch a little bit, but it shouldn't break. I'm not sure on this one because this is smaller than this torso piece. But as far as this one goes, you force it on there and it looks pretty good. You want to put the diaper on first, of course, but it looks pretty good once you get it all mocked up. It's actually these legs look really good with this body. Like I wish I could have showed you my Batman Who Laughs, but I sold it because I put whose legs did I put on there? I want to say Car Morto. I put Car Morto legs on Batman Who Laughs, and it just looked awesome. And this is how I did it. So for everyone asking, I hope this answers the question. I really hope this helped. I hope I was able to explain it. Hopefully I can edit it to where I can explain it pretty good. If you guys want to see how I did the arms, I did post it on my Instagram and I posted a reel, but I can't make a tutorial if you want to see that. A lot of people really don't like the way these arms look. I don't mind it. I'm gonna dye them blue. Dye them blue, then paint them blue and get them going. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. This is a really easy tutorial, I think. It's not really overly complicated. Once you cut everything off and you drill it out, like I said, you can sand all this stuff down too. I like to even this out just to make the legs sit a little more flush when they're in a stance. You could take this and take your nippers and cut that off, make it more flush. This stuff's gonna shoot across the room, so I suggest putting a napkin over when you cut. But you just make it more flush and you go in here and sand it out and make it look a little better. And it should made up to a Marvel Legends torso. You can go in here and use a bigger drill bit to make a bigger hole too. But just try not to take out too much plastic, because once you make this too loose, it's easy to take plastic off. It's not easy to put it back on. Let me say that. So once you take this off, once you take too much off, it won't fit the same. So unless you know how to jimmy rig it to make it grow back or something. But that's the tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this in the comments.